What an absolute
It's just a
dipshit.
prank, bro. Just a prank, bro.
Just a prank, bro. It's just
Bro,
a
it's just a
prank.
prank, bro.
In other words, working class people who got checks from Trump will not get them from Biden.
Well, if
So-
I go for a drink, I piss a lot more, and I drink quite a lot. So I think there's a lot of boozers, a lot of boozy
Yeah.
bitches on her.
Fair
Okay.
thing, but then you also need to like be near her grave. Like you have to factor in the fact that we gotta transport 67. Like you gotta transport some poor fucker from Orkney to
Where is her
Margaret
grave?
Thatcher's grave.
More than anything. But yeah. Oh, who's this?
But the people are retarded.
Let's see if that's happened. Coma. Masturbation.
Like Kill Bill.
Masturbation coma. Coma patients often masturbate after waking up. People are probably not masturbating, but just touching their lower halves after waking up.
I interviewed someone who started a sex toy company with her disabled brother, and she had to help him jack off for, like, most of his life. Like, how fucking...
Isn't that a scene from Love Actually?
I don't think so, no.
You know, she
The Christmas
the-
one.
yeah, she's got the disabled brother who keeps interrupting her sexy time with Carl.
Yeah, so she goes to the thing and jacks him off on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Introducing the prisoner's trolley problemer. A trolley
The
full of
disabled the
Okay.
disabled brother, like he's the weirdest looking dude. He's in this chair. He's obviously disabled, but man, he's got the cheekiest grin on his face. He knows what's up. He knows he probably could. He's got two hands. He probably could, but he's just getting his sister to do it like a little
Send
weirdo.
it. Send
Wait,
it.
does she actually wank him off? What, in the movie? No.
This is real life that I'm talking about.
All right. No,
Send it in WhatsApp and I'll
Love
put it in
Actually
the.
I watch.
It would actually be true to the name, actually, though, wouldn't it?
Become actually.
Become.
Send it in WhatsApp so I can put it in the PowerPoint. Let's get it in the deck. I never heard that term until I started hanging around with advertising people.
What? Come actually?
No deck, referring to a PowerPoint.
Oh, Dex again. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Can you send me the slide deck by end of business?
What we're looking for? Come. No.
No, this picture that you're talking
Born
about.
to create human life.
Oh, yeah,
Born
yeah,
to
yeah.
create Excel spreadsheets.
Andrew thinks sex should be funded by the government. That's the disabled dude. Don't know why. I guess I agree with it. That sounds pretty cool.
Okay, where do I go? Right, so this is the guy. Oh, what? Stupid fucking thing. I'll cut this all out, obviously.
Yeah, we'll do it in post.
Stick it in the deck. All right, I've sent you the picture of him.
Yeah, get in it. Copy. There we are.
I've sent you the other way. He's looking proper happy with himself as well.
Oh
Queer
no!
cripple.
What the fuck is that?
I interacted with these people in real life. Just try not to laugh.
What is sex should be funded by the government? What? Sex with whom? Sex with what?
Sex with
Queer
him.
cripple. Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh,
put
no.
the other one on as well.
Yeah.
See him with his sister. He's loving it.
Oh, she fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
She wanks him off.
Yeah.
They both seem pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
Can you get a machine?
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the future you will. It's kind of like an.
There are
ultimate
machines where you just
fleshlight.
hold onto it and it basically does this.
So that's basically what they did. They've made a machine that looks like a punching bag that he can sort of lie down next to and like spoon, and it does stuff apparently. That's their thing.
So is that what the government's going to pay for?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. But I guess for her, the motivation is to make this machine so she doesn't have to keep wanking off her disabled brother for the rest of her life. It's pretty good motivation for anything, I imagine.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Probably a good idea. The right thing to do.
Viral sensation: Jackie Weaver believes that the aggression on display by some male Hanford Parish councillors was because they didn't like being told no by a woman. Oh, this was so ridiculous.
That council meeting basically kind of exposed that, like, even at the council level, the people in charge do not give a fuck about you, and it's just raw.
But it's even worse at the council level. The corruption's rife.
I think it was a great demonstration of where power actually lies, because the power lies with the person in control of the Zoom dashboard. Not definitely, like, it doesn't matter that the guy was like, oh, I'm the what's it called, VP or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever, you're booted from the call. You're booted because you're rude. You're sent to the gulag because you're rude. You know, I'm the president now, and you're being sent to the gulag because you're rude.
She wasn't even part of the council.
For whatever reason, the people in power.
She was like some third party as well, like.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to me, it was a great demonstration of where power actually lies. Like.
And she became a media darling for about a week, where everyone was interviewing her, saying how brave and shit she was. It's like, nah. That was more. That was more of a smear on democracy than the Capitol riots were.
I mean, this genuinely was an assault on democracy, because they literally just gathered and said, "Hey, can we vote in a new head of the council?" And the old head of the council was like, "Well, what about me? What, you can't do this. It's illegal." And like, booted. Nope. Okay. Well, let's vote on a new council head now. Like,
you've got no authority here, Jackie Weaver.
What's that all quote about a boot stepping on you, getting booted for eternity? Something like that.
Yeah, basically, if you want to imagine the future, imagine Jackie Weaver's on all of your Zoom calls,
booting you,
being rude,
booting you forever.
Power.
Oh, this was the beginning of the Biden voting post their L's account.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to regret voting for Biden, but I mean, shit, I didn't think it would take less than a week. If you knew you were going to regret it, why did you do it?
I love those like hypocrisy accounts. So I guess the Biden voters posting their L's online is one of those where people are like, oh man, I can't believe I voted for Joe Biden. I'm never voting Democrat again. Then narrator. But they are going to vote Democrat again.
Yeah.
And then the defiant L's is the one where people are like, oh, what Trump is doing is inexcusable. And then when Biden is doing it, oh, it's all right when Biden's doing it. That's basically it.
Feminists when they get herpes and not himpees.
A men and A women.
That's a classic, yeah. So what's the other classic? Why did the feminists cross the road? Because I told her to.
Oh yeah, this is when Imagine Noir's got red pilled on COVID. The infection had fallen 44%
solid on COVID.
Yeah.
He's one of those people who took an L and then decided to, like, he's like the opposite of Scott Adams. As he's like, I got double jab, I'm not getting fucking boosted, I'm fully red pilled on this, like, this is just tyranny. Whereas Scott Adams has been, I arrived at completely the right conclusions. It just happens that they were wrong, and you were lucky to be.
Yeah. Globally, an experts say vaccine is not the main driver because only 8% of Americans and 30% of people worldwide have received their first dose. To be fair, you couldn't say anything about vaccines at that point.
Yeah.
First week of February. Anyway.
Well, I mean, because at that point, saying that COVID might be seasonal was being a grave offense. It was a big no-no. Until Florida started getting lower infections and lower death rates than other states, then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, DeSantis is just lucky because COVID is seasonal."
Yeah.
It's seasonal when the what's it called? It's vaccines when Florida's got high cases, and it's seasonal when Florida's got low cases. That's basically it.
Majid's been like cancelled now by LBC, hasn't he? He got his radio show
Yes,
taken
yeah.
away from him about notice.
Yeah.
He uses way too many exclamation marks, though. It kind of jars me out. He always does like capital letters everywhere. It's like, oh, come on, dude.
So
Is Boomer.
he says the reason why he's doing that is because he wants to look like Daily Mail. He wants his headlines to be like eye-grabbing like Daily Mail.
Is that what he actually said?
He actually said that, yeah.
That's a weird vibe, but fair enough. All right.
Odd flex, but okay.
Yeah. It's
I want to be
David
like the
Byrne.
rag.
David Byrne used to always wear bigger and bigger suits because he wanted his head to look smaller, but never really explain why.
Oh, there's Cranky. Having one of our essential journeys to drink out of the
we cranky.
rugby cup.
I mean, yeah, with the scandal of the parties and shit, it's like these people hate us. They're flaunting their own rules. They don't give a shit.
I had
Probably by
relations
design.
with her makeup artist, and she said she was the dullest person ever.
True fascism is dull.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, interesting that there are a lot of Scottish people who are like, I want Scottish independence, but not under Sturgeon.
Yeah, like it's gonna be like a wetter, colder North Korea. Otherwise, north of the border.
I think no. I'm more like it's gonna be a great blow to white nationalists. But it's gonna be a majority white state that turns into Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't want any of that shit again. Did Mugabe die last year? Was that last year? When did he die?
Oh, did he die? I
He
thought he
died,
was still alive and kicking.
I think it
He
was
died
last
in like a Reebok tracksuit.
Oh no, he died in 2019. Yeah, he died in 2019.
Oh, he missed all this. Oh.
No, I remember the coup that wasn't, where they deposed him, and then some guy came on TV and says it's not a coup. That's how you know it's not a coup, when a military guy on TV tells you it's not a coup.
What we got? 20-year-old Nashville YouTuber Timothy Wilkes was killed after he approached a group of guys with butcher knives as part of a prank robbery for YouTube. Shooter said he was unaware of the prank and shot him to defend himself and others. No one has been charged in Wilkes' death.
What an absolute
It's just a
dipshit.
prank, bro. Just a prank, bro.
Just a prank, bro. It's just
Bro, it's just a prank, bro. Just a prank, bro.
What was he thinking?
He was thinking it was just a prank, bro.
It's a prank, bro. I always thought going to Liverpool and selling the Sun would be a funny YouTube video.
Yeah, but it's also like Tennessee. Isn't Tennessee like a really, really red state? That
Yeah.
like where gun like I'm just quickly gonna fact check gun laws in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, you're fine. That's like a one where you can get them in Walmart and shit.
Tennessee allows permitless open and concealed carry. Yeah, so like you can basically just walk around with like a shotgun or a strap at AR-15, and no one can do anything about it. So
He would have
honestly,
seen that they had
great.
guns. He would have seen they had guns. We're like, yeah, let's do this. I feel like you wouldn't miss your kid if that's how they went.
Was that Bill Hicks? He was talking about people who like died trying to fly on acid. He's the same thing. Like it's like, fuck it, we lost a moron. Great, the world's a little lighter. We lost a moron. Woohoo!
He was like, yeah, when he was talking about what the kids that committed suicide after listening to a Judas Priest album. He's like, oh no, we're gonna have 2 less gas station attendants. Like, there will be no delay in the space program because of this. Okay.
I should try and do a Bernie
can't be
Sanders
asked.
impression.
Yeah, oh, go on. Who can do it, Bernie?
Unbelievable! There are some Dems who want to lower the income eligibility for direct payments for $75,000 to $50,000 for individuals and $150,000 to $100,000 for couples. In other words, working class people who got checks from Trump would not get them from Biden. Brilliant.
I mean,
Why'd you
what were you
endorse it, Nick?
expecting? Why didn't you run, Bernie? Why did you endorse Biden, Bernie? Like,
Twitter
Or
doesn't
Bernie.
forget
He'll
it.
just be remembered for that mittens photo, won't he? Where he was just sitting there at the inauguration looking all sad.
yeah.
Not
This-
I
that
don't know.
bad.
I think Bernie has sold out. I think Bernie has sold out in 2016. I think in 2020, basically, he was basically there to just funnel funds from like vulnerable socialists into the DNC. It's the like. Have you heard of the like vouch to neocon pipeline?
No.
Where it's basically it's like basically vouch is now turned into a neocon on streams, basically saying, oh, we need to do an intervention in Russia. We need to like bomb China. We need to like defend Taiwan. So it's basically, it starts off like, oh yeah, I'm just like a YouTube socialist, and then it ends with like, hey, we need to vote for Democrats and support another war in the Middle East. Like, oh, okay, that's the pipeline.
Yeah, it's like a
And then
gateway drug.
I think Bernie Sanders is basically that. Like he funneled all the campaign money into Democrats, no refunds after he dropped out. Now he's basically like he's like occasionally ranting about the machine, but he's fully on board with the machine.
Rant against the machine.
Doesn't he have like 5 massive houses?
Yeah, he's got 3.
Oh, 3.
He's got 3, which apparently is perfectly fine because he needs to have his home house, his house in DC, because he can't. There's no way he could possibly rent a house in DC, and as well as a summer property, because how can you expect him not to have a summer property? It's preposterous.
Oh,
Or rather, vacation property. That's the one.
yeah. Yeah, I've got a real
Justification.
proper communist friend, and he's buying a house at the moment, and it's a bit like you're the
Bro,
You never
yeah,
really
share
were a
some of the
communist,
property
were
with
you?
us, will ya?
If they charge £1 to go to piss on her grave, we clear the national debt in no time.
There aren't even that many
Manufacture.
people. What's the national debt?
I mean, okay. Well, why don't we run some calculations? That's gonna be like,
Jamie, pull that up.
yeah, right. UK national debt. UK national debt is 2.2 billion. Now, an average person urinates 5 times a day. If everyone in the UK urinated all of their 5 times a day onto her grave, so that's everyone in the UK paying £5 a day, UK population is
66 million.
67 million. 67 times 5 gives us 335 million a day. So 2.2 billion divided by 350 million, it
It's
gives
like
us
7 days. It'd take a week.
a week.
This is why
We're making some strong assumptions here. We're making assumptions that every single person in the UK, every man, woman, and child,
And baby.
is pissing 5 times a day on her grave.
Well,
So-
if I go for a drink, I piss a lot more, and I drink quite a lot. So I think there's a lot of boozers, a lot of boozers
Yeah.
on her.
fair thing, but then you also need to like be near her grave. Like you have to factor in the fact that we gotta transport 67. Like you gotta have to transport some poor fucker from Orkney to
Where is her
Margaret
grave?
Thatcher's grave.
I'm just looking at it now. Yeah, I wonder where that is.
Yeah, make an itinerary from the Isle of Man to.
It's in Chelsea,
Oh,
Royal
Is it?
Hospital, Chelsea. You just left her in the hospital.
oh yeah, it's a retirement. So Royal Hospital Chelsea is a retirement home, nursing home.
Well, they just put her in the garden.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Quora.com. Has anybody ever urinated Margaret Thatcher's grave?
Yes, Quora. Where did Quora come from? I feel like it just suddenly appeared one day and with millions of answers on it of the most random shit.
Oh my goodness! The first reply is some guy who's got a Marx in the profile picture. Disgusting, thieving, neoliberal piece of garbage, hell-bent on destroying the union power of the working class. The man is just regular. Oh my goodness.
Why
There's
would
a
someone
pub
who grew
called
up
The
working
Surprise.
class want to destroy the working class? It just makes no sense.
Do you ever feel like hating Margaret Thatcher is not a personality trait? Shout out to all the people in Liverpool.
Why do people in Liverpool hate it so much?
I think wasn't Liverpool like really big into mining?
Didn't she ban
Like-
dancing there for a while or something?
She banned what? She banned what?
Dancing.
Dancing.
Yeah.
It's not Footloose.
Why do they hate her then?
No, she was well into climate change before.
Yeah, exactly.
This new generation. She was ahead of the times.
She was against the EU. She was against like. She shared a lot more with like today's working class than they'd care to admit.
She probably did back then.
She was against the EU. She was against climate change. She was against the. Not gonna lie, today's like Brexit voter would probably have a lot more common with her.
Well, she gave people the opportunity to
Think
buy their
about
own council houses.
Yep. In fact, I'd argue she's got more in common with like a Brexit voter than like the Tory government, today's Tory government.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they still don't know really what they're doing about all that, do they? They're kind of just putting it on the back burner and hoping nothing happens.
We're only on week 2, so
All right, I think we do need to speed up because it's already 11:30.
yeah, let's just pick some of the better ones. If they're too wordy, we'll just skip them.
Alrighty.
This is James Lindsay saying, "We don't win this. We just throw sand into the gears and wait for the things to into its own destruction. Hope we don't lose everything in the process. Start rebuilding."
Yeah, like accelerate. The system will fall apart sooner or later. That's James Lindsay with a black pill, but also a white pill. The system, like, eventually there's going to be too much incompetence in the system, and it will collapse in its own weight because it doesn't select for competence because competence is dangerous to the people in power.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with the Soviet Union.
Money to be made though when it all goes to shit.
True.
Hope so. Yeah, if you got shares in Raytheon, maybe.
Forgotten 2015 Republican primary campaign moment.
Legend. Poor Rand Paul. Getting absolutely slaughtered by Trump.
What is that doll in the background of that one? What the fuck's going on there?
Yeah, that is weird.
What are you
Rand Paul's like,
what have you
I'm
got?
never going to live this down.
Oh. Who was this guy? I recognize this Mexican fella.
He's from
Some
SNL.
satire. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Before it went all COVID propaganda machine.
Yeah. It's all a bit sad, isn't it? I don't know why anyone would watch that stuff. It's all quite depressing to watch and
Yeah.
sinister almost to watch half the time.
But guys, when we realise that lockdown is a means to prevent mass fatalities and collateral damage to other medical health conditions, it seems to me that despite the education here about virology genetics, you prefer to maintain a start of denial. What does that mean? Get your head around
State of denial.
yeah. Get your head around one very simple fact. COVID is here to stay. No controls long term are inevitable. You have a vested interest as it only
Bastard.
It is only a matter of time for variants to appear that hurt you and your age group. No doubt you will bleat then, though.
Yeah, predictions that didn't age well.
Yeah.
What's the total number of under 80 that died solely because of COVID? 6,000 or something?
For the entire time, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was So the ONS in the UK said it was only 17,000 had died of COVID, not 150,000 the other day.
And
After Freedom of Information.
6,000 of those were. It was only 6,000
3,000
roughly were under 65.
I think it was even less. I think it was like 3,700 from what I saw. But
then the average age was like above the national average, and I think overall they worked out it was like it took 5 weeks off men's lives, but added a few weeks to women's on average. Absolutely pointless.
Yeah, well, we're actually the lucky ones because we want to get off now anyway. Get off this ride.
I want to get up into the Bones' wild ride.
Americans, ugly commies. Oh, it's annoying.
Really?
What do you prefer? Do you prefer this layout or this layout?
I honestly, I couldn't. I think they both have their merits.
I mean,
Good sniper practice.
I don't know. As someone who's lived in both, as someone who has lived in former communist states, I think top right is just horrific for the soul. It's just like cramming people into like the most efficient allocation of space, but it's like maybe the goal shouldn't be to cram as many people as you can into the most efficient allocation of space. Do you know what I mean? Like
graves.
Yeah, like that's very efficient allocation. Well, no, because in the Nordic countries they started putting people in vertically to save space into the ground.
Shit.
Because actually it is more efficient allocation of space to put your grave in vertically, your coffin. But yeah, it's the top right is soul destroying.
Bottom one's pretty boring as hell though, as well.
How it started. There is no cancel culture. The fastest way to get a book deal in this country is to whine about cancel culture. Every single one of these people ends up on their feet. They are fine. They have giant platforms. They are heard loud and clear. Right-wing opinions are everywhere. Like, this is so dumb, right? Because you only hear about the ones that get cancelled but then survive it. You're not going to hear about the ones that get cancelled.
Yeah.
Survivor's paradox.
Yeah, that's pretty basic shit, that, isn't it? Really. This always happens as well. Life comes at you fast. Like what's that proper commie news channel with Thingy Sakar and Bastani on it?
Sakar and
Novara Media. They got cancelled after saying there was no such thing as cancel culture, and then they got banned off Twitter and stuff. And it's like, they're all crying about it. There's that whole classic as well. It's like, why don't you go make your own social media? Like, what? As if that's a viable option, really.
Well, this one didn't age well either. Look, Sage Expert also said some measures would probably remain forever. Oh, and then so in this they probably remain forever, and then UK should be more or less free of COVID crisis by Christmas.
Just part of that double speak, so you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Was it? We weren't more or less free of COVID crisis. I guess we were. No.
I don't know. I remember people had a bit of a shoddy New Year's because they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, the impression I got was they let people have Christmas and then scared people into sort of not enjoying their New Year's. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, they basically just scared everyone into doing their own sort of compliance. The cowardly way about it. Also, it's the way that the way they did it was that they could sort of then not actually give any sort of help out to all the businesses like the pubs and shit because they'd technically not told them to close, but basically scared everyone from going. So the pubs were just stuck in this limbo of where they couldn't actually serve anyone because no one was coming anyway, but they couldn't apply for any sort of grants or any help because it wasn't technically policy, so they end up just sort of floating about. And
it's so stupid. So many businesses like really do count on like that kind of trade at that time of year.
It's like
if you miss
a third of your stuff normally for pubs.
Yeah, and you miss like a whole month that time of year because no one really goes out much in January.
Mm-hmm.
And they really fucked it up for this Christmas, didn't they?
Yeah, we're still living a proper zombie economy. I'm hoping this year finally we actually get to sort of see the collapse, so we actually know what we're dealing with. Because at the moment it's kind of just sort of like ticking over, but really not really. Like everyone keeps heralding how we have like really like high unemployment rates, but that's what you had in the Soviet Union and shit. People are just doing really terrible jobs and stuff anyway. Like it doesn't really mean what they say it means. It's all kind of smoke and mirrors at the moment. But I'm hoping this year, hoping on next year's Memery hole, we're going to be looking at a completely different landscape to what it is right now. Because everyone who was against lockdowns have been saying this whole time that, hey, we're all going to be poorer for the rest of our lives because of this, and it's all going to be shit. But we haven't actually seen that yet. So I'm hoping we're going to finally start seeing that now. Just to be proven right, actually. But more than anything. But yeah. Oh, who's this?
What's the name? The lady from
Gina Carano, the cancelling.
Gina Carano is the one.
For comparing current political climate to 1930s Germany, was sacked by Disney.
Yeah, I mean, the unvaccinated will soon be. I mean, they are already being treated as second-class citizens. It's only a matter of time.
She never appeared on Joe Rogan, though. The best she got was Ben Shapiro.
Best and the worst.
Has Rogan had to rein it in at all since he's gone to Spotify? I haven't really been looking at him.
I think he's probably better off at Spotify than it was on YouTube in terms of what he can and can't say.
Okay.
There's no way he'd be able to be saying the stuff he has about COVID if he was on YouTube.
I think so.
I mean, that's
I haven't listened to him in a while. I don't know what he's saying.
It's so annoying though because people don't understand what the Joe Rogan experience is. You don't listen to Joe Rogan. You listen for the guests he has on.
I tap in and out depending on who's going to be on it. I don't really.
I mean, yeah, I do the same. I listen to it quite regularly, but I'm often annoyed by Joe Rogan, but I don't take Joe's word as like some kind of messianic preachment, which is how the mainstream media see themselves, which is why they have such a hard time wrapping their head around the fact that he's just there having interesting conversations and people can listen to and take away what they want from it, because that's all it is at the end of the day.
Classic projection.
They're projecting a power that they want onto him, which he doesn't actually have.
Yeah.
So this is all Disney House of Mouse stuff this week.
Yeah. You didn't watch The Mandalorian then?
Nah. I'm a proper conspiracy theorist about Disney. I just feel like they own too much stuff and I don't want to buy into it because I don't think anything should have that much control over the culture at all. I like the classics, but I think it's gone a bit too far. And I'm like, nah. And then they were in Star Wars and it was just like, nah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't go near it anymore.
I watched an interesting video the other day on the queuing system at Disneyland, Florida. And how it changed over time, and like how the fast pass system worked, and all the sort of reasoning behind it, and how it actually affected things, and how it created like a class system within Disneyland. It's actually really interesting. Like properly breaks it down, like really scientifically and entertaining as well. I'll send it to you.
That is bonkers. What? So like it was a whole society within Disneyland.
You are.
It's like a whole like societal class system within Disneyland as well.
Yeah, so there's basically like you could do. There was like a class. It was a class system that developed out of just like the people who knew how to game the system, because the various ways you could exploit it versus people who would go there like on their family vacation and they'd have a terrible time because they'd be queuing for ages, but other people who put loads of research and stuff into it were able to like skip all the queues and stuff.
Ah.
So a meritocracy of sorts.
Somewhat.
Anarcho-tyranny.
Yeah.